There's a lot of different Bible versions out there, aren't there? NIV, ASV, ESV, KJV, NKJV, and the list goes on. It gets even longer when you add in kids' Bibles. Struggling to find which one is the right one to read with your child? Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Sarah from Empty Church here, and this is where we make videos to encourage you in your faith on the 6 days between Sunday when the church buildings are empty. So let me ask you a question. What do you do on the 6 days between Sunday with your kids? Do you read with them, pray with them, or do you leave it up to the children's church and Sunday school workers on Sunday morning? I know I did. For a little while, especially when she was younger, I read occasionally, but I didn't always spend every night reading with her like I wanted to. Sometimes there's not enough time in the day. Or should I say we don't make enough time in the day? Our daughter's 6 now, and she loves to read. Let me brag on her. She's actually really good at reading. Her report card came back with an outstanding score, and she's only in 1st grade. But what makes me the most proud is how much she loves to read the Bible. So what do you choose to read with your child? I know, there's a lot out there, and sometimes it's hard to know which book is the right book. So I've put together a few that we've read with Cassandra through the years to maybe help you get started on your way. First one here was called Rockabye Bible. This is something we read with her when she was really small, probably 2-3 years old. It has a bunch of little poems as well as Bible verses that go along with it. She enjoyed the poems. They were short, the verses are short, and at the age of 2, their attention span is really short. The pictures were colorful, and she really enjoyed it. She still picks it up now and again, even though she's 6.5. It's remained an integral part of her library. As she got a little bit older and started becoming more interested in the Bible stories that she was hearing about in children's church, I picked up my very first Bible stories book for her. It's a board book, which all parents know and love because you can't rip the pages. All of the stories are topical based. So they'll have a story on creation, a story on Joseph, a story on the story of Moses. The pictures are all fun, and there's a lot in here that you can find, so you can take your experience and really turn it into more than just 5 to 10 minutes if you wanted to. I know sometimes we would play I Spy looking at these big, beautiful pictures. There's a lot you can do just with a simple Bible storybook. A few months back, Josh and I went to a CCEF conference, and they had a huge bookstore upstairs that included a book called Everything a Child Should Know About God. Now, this isn't a Bible book, it's not a Bible story book, but I still wanted to include it because I think that it's an excellent resource. See, it breaks down everything a child should know about God, from reading the Bible is important to God made plants and animals. God has always lived. God knows everything. They break it up into different parts and different sections, but every single page is its own lesson that even comes with a question. It's created some amazing discussions between the 3 of us when we sit down and read together, and honestly has challenged Josh and I in our faith some. Great resource. This past Christmas, Sean and Crystal gifted Cassandra with Read Me the Bible Story 365. This is another fantastic book. It especially is great because it breaks everything down day by day. So you just have a small little chunk to read every day. Seems doable, right? It's doable for you and your kid. It's not a lot of time, but the stories are great. The pictures jump off the page, and it even gives you a reference of where you can find the information in the Bible should you or your child want to explore a little bit more. Honestly, this reminds me of my kids' Bible. Another children's Bible, 365. Now this one's old and the pages are falling out because I'm old, but it's another really good resource that I was happy to be able to pass down to Cassandra. The pictures, again, are vibrant and they describe the story that you're in, once again with the reference. There's no right or wrong way to read the Bible with your child, but these make it a little bit easier to stay on track, set an attainable goal, and read with them every night throughout a year. You'd be surprised where you'd find yourself to be at the end of the year. Because Cassandra also enjoys reading on her own, doesn't always want to wait for mommy or daddy to be done doing their chores, my parents got her the Beginner's Bible for Christmas. This one, again, is fantastic. The pictures are fun, and the words are in a large print that makes it easy for young readers to read on their own. They can go through and read different Bible stories, find the verses that accompany them so they can follow up with you, or in a big kid's Bible. She's really enjoyed exploring this on her own, and it's become an excellent resource. Last but not least, there's no substitute for the Bible. I know my daughter's only 6.5, but she still enjoys picking up an English Standard Version Bible and reading it. I found her one night huddled under her covers with a flashlight, and I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm reading Psalms, Mom. You want to read with me? I'm doing it quietly in my head, so you can read too, and we'll talk about it when we're done." I said, "Okay." So we read through Psalms chapter 15 together. And at the end, she asked me, "So what did you learn, Mom?" I shared with her what I learned about God's love, and she shared back some of the things that she learned too, and it was an amazing conversation. You would be surprised how much kids really do understand. I know that she's young, and some of these words are a little big, but her asking about those big words, again, generated another amazing conversation. Don't be afraid to let your kid read from the Big Bible. I know I've gone over a lot of great resources, and I'll be sure to include links to each of them in the description below. But right now, I have a question for you. What resource do you use with your kids? What books do you guys enjoy? Do you read straight from the Bible? What version? Or do you have a Bible story book that you'd like to use with your children? If so, please include it in the comments below. We'd all love to hear about it. This has been Sarah from Empty Church, and until next time, live empty, talk about your faith, and opt in to follow Jesus. And don't forget to include your kids.
Okay. Hey, ignore the camera. Ignore the camera.